Good morning, St. Francis, and good morning, people of God. It is Friday, the 9th day of May, 2025. It is Friday of the third week of Easter. It is the 20th day of the Easter season. We have a new Pope. Will he be a lion? Will he be a lamb? Will he allow the lion to lay down with the lamb and the lamb to lay down with the lion? Let us see what happens. But here on the campus of the Franciscan School, it is Field Day 2025. So one of our great events that happen towards the end of our school year every year. And even though it's a little bit overcast, it looks as though the sun is trying, there it is. It's trying to break out a little bit. So we'll see what happens. I may be in a dunk tank. I may not be. We'll see what happens. Okay. So on this Friday of the third week of Easter, we have, where are we? Here we go. We have the great conversion story of Saul. Basically, Saul on that horse, uttering murderous threats, going on to Damascus to kill the Christians that are there. Instead, God appears to him, Christ appears to him. Why are you persecuting me? And he is knocked off of his horse. From then on begins, again, a true transformation of mind and heart. That Saul begins to realize that something is different because of this Christ. That what others have been saying about this Christ, about how people have understood, the threats that this Christian movement means are not necessarily the same thing. And he, again, who was the greatest, there's Father Chris, he who was the greatest persecutor of the Christians, now becomes, again, the greatest missionary. Again, for a missionary bishop who is now our Pope, and again, missionary bishop, but very different than a bishop who remains in place. For a missionary bishop now to have this conversion of St. Paul on this day of his full day as Pope can be very significant. Someone who is called to bring Christ to this world. Someone who is called to bring Christ, again, to those places, again, that need to experience hope, that need to experience life. Not somebody who brings Christ that there be order and authority and control and uniformity, but somebody who brings Christ that life may continue to live and blossom and flourish, and that the Spirit's impact, the Spirit's movement might be able to be felt. Paul experiences this, and throughout, again, his transformation, how he goes to the house of Ananias, and the scales that fall from his eyes because he begins to realize that his way was not the way that God intended. Again, it's true for all of us in this Easter season. What does God reveal to us in this Easter season of what we are called to be, of who we are called to be as believers in this world, and what this world needs to receive from us? That is the important thing. That is the important thing. What does the world need to receive from us? How do we discern that? By listening to the Spirit at work in our lives and in our midst. In John's Gospel today, again, the scribes and Pharisees were still in John 6, those bread of life discourses. Again, how can he give us his flesh to eat? It's disgusting. How can he give us his blood to drink? That's even worse. Again, they don't believe this. They don't believe, but then Jesus says, unless you eat and drink me, you do not have eternal life. That's important to remember. Jesus does not say, again, as useful as this may be as a devotion, you must adore me to have eternal life. Eternal life does not come from just adoring him. It comes from eating and drinking him. His life becomes our own. Our life becomes his. And that makes the world a place of hope, a place of wonder, a place of spirit, a place of grace. From Field Day 2025 here at the Franciscan School, a blessed Easter, St. Francis and people of God. May the Lord give you his peace.